Alright, try again. I think I recorded the first bit without any sound. Um, yeah, I guess today I'm thinking about this concept in aware parenting where maybe the foundation really that kids and by extension adults have accumulated feelings, and I sort of think of this as like tension in the body and um, things that don't get expressed, that don't get to leave the body in some way, and so we are holding these things, and that's often, I think, where anxiety, depression, all of these sort of afflictions stem from accumulated feelings that haven't had an outlet or a release, and so um, that's what I've been experiencing today. I've kind of set these goals for myself that I want to accomplish. I'm not going to dive too deep into that because I think I'll talk about it another time, but more camera is dropping. Okay. And so, yeah, it really gets in the way of being able to actually do the things that I am hoping to do. Like, I really notice when I have these accumulated feelings, when I have a goal or something. It's like, okay, today I'm going to accomplish this thing, and what ends up happening is I get distracted, or I feel like procrastinating in some way, and I know that there is like a mentality that you should fight back against that and not give in and push yourself, and I think there is a place for that, but I think it is perhaps a band-aid and it's not getting at the root symptoms, or not the symptoms so much, the root causes. And so I've been trying to address things more on that level, and so that sometimes means that I'll get distracted a little bit because I'm trying to not be so brutal on myself, where I'm like refusing to get distracted because I want to get all these things done, because I'm also trying to address things on this deeper level. And so I guess I have all these feelings, right, that maybe I can't accomplish this thing that I'm trying to achieve. Maybe it's too lofty of a goal. Maybe I just don't have what it takes. Maybe I get distracted too easily and I'm not able to actually complete things. And so all these feelings and all this tension, all this doubt, and it needs a place to go. It needs to come out somehow. And I think that is often, our journal, sitting here doing this, is also a way to let things out. Talking to someone. But then, what do I do when I've journaled this morning and it helped, but then I sat down to start doing some work and I just didn't feel like doing it. I wanted to do something to distract, and that's a really key part of aware parenting as well. Is you have the classic fight, flight, or freeze, and so freeze is dissociation, and so anytime you notice that you're dissociating, then you're in that is it sympathetic state? So hard to get those the right way around. Anyway, so you're in this heightened state, and because you're in the heightened state, you're seeking relief from that, and the temporary relief you can get is by being dissociated. And so that can be well, everyone's got different patterns and habits, right? Like this morning it was I wanted to watch some shit on YouTube, and I'll find ways to explain away how it might be helpful towards my goal, but really it's not. But yeah, I'm tempted to sort of shame myself and feel bad about this, but when I start to see it through this lens of having accumulated feelings, then it's easier for me to see how hitting myself with those guilt sticks, flogging myself with those guilt sticks is just adding more feelings into my system, and so adding more pressure, and the cycle just continues where the feelings need to come out somehow. Exercising actually is another way that is helpful, so maybe I'll just go do a little bit of exercise, and that might snap me back into things. But it's such a hard thing to manage, because I have doubts and fear coming up around not being able to do the thing that I really want to do, and then those doubts and fears make it harder to do the thing I want to do, and then it's kind of a feeling showing me that, I'm actually not capable of it, because look, I'm getting so distracted all the time. And I guess, I'm just trying to hold on to the idea that there is a way to let these feelings out. That it's not me being broken or something innately wrong with me, but there is an accumulation of tension within me that just needs to be released, and then I'm a more whole, fuller version of myself. And so that's ultimately what I'm trying to seek out here, right? Is being the most full, embodied, actualized version of myself. Actuated. Actualized. So it does really require sitting with this discomfort, and sometimes I think that being distracted, though it is a dissociation, like a small amount of the dissociation, then I don't know, it's like sitting with the feelings is important, but then if you're really being rough with yourself, then you're not. Actually, there's another thing from Aware Parenting called the balance of attention, and it's like being able to, the best way to explain it is like you experienced a trauma in the past, and it's like being able to return to that trauma, but being safe enough in the present that it's not, that you feel safe enough now that you can return to that in a way that's gentle enough to, because like returning to those traumas is how you can process, move through them, release the feelings accumulated from that experience. But if you are, say, there's some environment which reminds you of those past traumatic experiences and it's still kind of traumatic now, you're not going to really be healing from it because you're sort of falling back into that same pattern, potentially like re-traumatizing, right? And so it's being able to return to those feelings but in a safe enough place now that you're able to assimilate and release the feelings from that time. And so I guess where that comes in is that, you know, I'm having feelings about not being good enough, not being, not having enough focus, not being capable of what it is that I'm wanting to do. And then that's like something that I carry from my past, and so being able to touch back into that and in a gentle enough way that it kind of gets relieved, right? And but if I'm, you know, bashing myself over the head with it by, you know, refusing to admit that there are feelings there, then I don't think they're going to be able to move on. I don't know, this isn't very clear even to myself. I'm just sort of ideating out loud here. Anyway, I'm feeling like this is the end for today. Somewhat helpful. I feel slightly relieved by this session. It's been really cool learning actually what the different camera parameters do. Playing with them. Just reducing the ISO. Sharpen the image and darken the image.